What's it like to wake up in the morning with a tune in your head and turn it into a song? Dun, 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 dun. So much to unpack. We can sit here and talk about how subjective art is and how everything is everything, but, well, let's face it, a song should have at least a beginning, a middle, of an end. You know, it should have like a takeoff, the flight, and a landing, at the very least. I'm a jam guy. I've always loved to just find a vibe and end up with like a 30-second thing or minute-long thing that doesn't really ever go anywhere, but it catches the vibe, and I always imagine, this would be the most amazing interlude on a record. You know, my favorite songs have always been the songs on the record that are either instrumentals or short and weird and odd. Song number 5, 6, 7 on the CD, 5 or 6, somewhere in the middle of something to split the album up. I just said CD. I just said that, didn't I? Yeah. I always chalked it up to that, which now I realize, well, that was just Mr. Lazy Ass that doesn't really want to actually put the effort into creating the entire song. To make a song is not an easy task. That song that you heard me humming in my kitchen at the beginning of the video eventually made it over to my desk in my office. I just needed to hear what it was capable of sounding like. And here I am, laying down a simple lead as close as possible to what I heard in my head. And now I pick some drums, and I love dry drums, so I kind of have a good idea of what I like. And the beat itself is just an intuitive performance that I didn't really think about. I just played whatever first came to mind. Of course, every song needs a bass. This bass sound is a sample of my Fender Precision bass, which is typically what I use because I know that if I like the song enough to record the whole thing, I'm going to eventually perform it on the P-Bass. And then these samples are just old samples I had on my OP1 that I came across while searching for sounds, and this is my favorite part of the OP1. Happy accidents. There's one more really quick thing I want to show you before we get back to it. And that's this technique that I've done a million times on the computer, but I've started to really implement it in my music since owning the OP1 Field because it's so much fun to do. And that's adding crescendos. I do this by modulating the master volume. Check it out. I lower the volume of the sound, hit record, slowly raise the volume. Then I pull off of that record button and it creates that abrupt stop. Crescendos add a lot of really nice dynamic to an idea. But this is still just an idea. For all I know, like most of them, this thing is just going to end up in a folder somewhere. It'll never be heard again. That's kind of where this YouTube channel started, forcing myself to make the commitment to finish things, on top of like scratching this random new itch that I have for filmmaking and cameras and stuff like that. But the idea was to hold myself accountable and, make long form things with a beginning, a middle, and an end. That was always the hardest part. Books like The War of Art and, the most successful artists typically talk about writing music as a job, something you sit down every day and you do, like it or not. You don't wait for the muse to show up, you show up. If you jam a lot, you're always coming up with something that can be an idea, that can be, it could be a great song, but how often are you going to actually take that idea to the end? How many times can you afford the energy and the effort committing to the idea and the time that it will take to make that idea into a song, but also all of the little commitments that you have to make along the way? What kind of song is it going to be? Is it going to have electronic drums? Is it going to have acoustic drums? Is it going to have guitars is going to be more organic, or is it going to be more electronic? Mini commitments that you have to make. And then once you get past that, I don't sit down and write out, all right, if this song is going to be chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, verse. In the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about the structure. Has this gone on too long? Should I move on to the next part? And the verse, chorus thing, it's a very pop music kind of thing. But that's just how we digest music. That's how we digest anything. We package everything up in a nice, digestible way. I like a sort of pop structure. I don't know what that is, like intro, verse, chorus, 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 out. I think that's how pop songs happen. At some point in that very traditional structure, I like to throw a wrench somewhere in there and just kind of make a left turn and then come back to it. And that for me is like it's the bare minimum. And then anywhere from there, I'm in the positive. I'm in the green. What does this song even mean? This one is complicated and typically involves lyrics. I sing gibberish, or just words start to form over the melody, over the song. I've got no words to say on this song, 'cause I just started last week. And sometimes these songs, they take so long. It's crazy. It's almost like therapy. It's almost like my subconscious is letting out these words into the song, and then none of them really make too much sense, or at least I can't apply them to any sort of experience in my life or anything like that. But then later, when I come back, then I listen to it with fresh ears, and I start to derive meanings from the words that just ended up there. And then I start to massage to form some sort of cohesive, poetic meaning. Time. You gotta give yourself the time to write, and listening to it over and over and over again. But you also need time to stay away from the song, like to get away from it and let your ears rest and become detached from it. Allow it to become strange, so that the next day you come back to it, or however long you stay away, you come back and you listen to it with fresh ears and have an objective feel for what you're hearing. Anytime I'm ever in the process of writing a song, I always come back to it with a notepad and a pen ready to write before I hit play. You only have those first couple listens to hear it with fresh ears and really analyze it to see where you want to go with it. Whether it's the meaning of the song, the lyrics, the music, the rhythm, the speed. Give yourself time away from it to come back with fresh ears and understand the possibilities. Because otherwise, when you're stuck in it and you're looping it over and over again and you're listening to it over and over again and you're trying to build on it, your strides, they become shorter and shorter as time goes on because you're inundated with the idea that you're living in. None of it comes easy, ever. Oh, because that's not alignment. That's why. Check 1, check 2, motherfucker. Actually, I should drop this again. Oh no, I dropped it on 2. Didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. No. Oh my God. So bad. I hate it so bad. Left channel. I hate it so bad. Right channel. And I got bullshit. Nothing in life comes easy without practice, without actually doing it, and doing it over and over and over. Thanks for listening, dudes. A lot of this YouTube channel is just me trying to settle some issues. So I appreciate you hanging out and watching my therapy sessions. But you shouldn't be watching me. You should be going and writing jams. Go!